Hello, everyone, and welcome. It's Shanna. Now, today is Club Kit Day, and I've got the Better Press of the month. It's called I'd Pick You, and it has a heart, and it has Suddenly All Love Songs Are About You. I love you, even when I'm hungry. I'd pick you again, and you're the one I want to annoy forever. And it's got these hearts and love. You can cut all the sentiments out at once. I've got the clear stamp and die of the month, and it has got a bunch of sentiments on it. I'll try to run through some of these. Let's do nothing together. Have a self-love day on me from your favorite person. Thinking about you today. You're stuck with me for my forever friend. Just because you are you. You're easy to care about, wrapped in care and tied with love because you deserve me time and still crushing on you from your favorite person and have a self-love day on me. So it's kind of a self-love set. And then we've also got the BetterPress set, and it almost looks like rainbows with some little flourishes and hearts on it. And it actually has two sentiments that you can press, or Glimmer as well. This is the Glimmer. And we've got, I'm going to lay them out here so that I can see what they say. And you've got the Glimmer plate and then the dies, and it says, felt like saying hello and glad we're friends, is what this says. And these are the kits that I have for today, and we're just going to get started working with them. We're going to make 3 cards. So I'm going to get all this stuff out of the way. We are going to be better pressing, we're going to be glimmering, we're going to be die cutting, and just doing all of the things. So real quick now, I just got a new um, platen for my better press, and mine was filthy. I had cleaned it with some material that messed up the grid lines on it, and so I've gotten me a new one here, and I'm going to get it ready and use it. And what I'm doing is I'm just going to flip it over in the packaging that it's in, so that that sticker is not on the front of it, and I'm just gonna lay it down in there, keep it covered, and I'm gonna do it like that. Now, I probably just need a flat piece of acetate that I can tape down, but I thought I would just stick it in this package and flip it over so that I can use it really quick, and it will work. I do have a little bit of trouble moving the dies around on it, but I suppose, just maybe because I've got something underneath it, but we're gonna bring in some cardstock from Spellbinders, and we are going to get to pressing on this. We're going to use a couple of colors from Spellbinders for our cards. Um, I think I've got, I don't know if that's tutu or if it is, yeah, I think it might be tutu color. And we're going to use it. And we're just going to get to pressing. I've got my Mulberry Better Press ink, and I'm going to get this all inked up. And we're going to press our little heart. And this is the I'd Pick You. So we're going to bring in the Spellbinders Platinum 6 and we're going to give it a press. We're going to press this thing and we're going to glimmer this thing. And we're also going to use our glimmer plate and we're going to use our clear stamps, which are our sentiments. And there we go. We've got our first little heart pressed. And I'm going to get this off of here and we're going to press the sentiments that come with this. And those are the ones that said, suddenly all of the love songs are about you. I love you even when I'm hungry. I'd pick you again, and you're the one I want to annoy forever. Those are some great sentiments, especially for those that have been in long-term relationships. So I'm going to ink it up. I'm just using the black Better Press ink there. I was kind of showing you the ink pad. I've got a big black ink pad, but I like using the minis for some reason. Anyway, we're going to get this pressed, and we'll have some sentiments from that. And I'm pretty much leaving all the techniques in today, so it is a little bit of a longer video. Here we've got everything pressed out. Now, the thing that's nice about this is you can bring in that die set and just die cut everything out at once. And I love it when Spellbinders does this. Stamp it all at once, press it all at once, whatever, and then die cut it out all at once. And bam, you've got a whole bunch of sentiments. Now we're gonna have 4 here. Certainly we're not gonna use them all today because we actually have sentiments with all of the sets. So anyway, So I'll get all those out and we're just going to keep going. So I have got that glimmer machine heated up and off to the side, and I'm going to get this glimmer plate out of here and we're going to do some glimmering. So we'll just bring it in. You can see it's green. That means it's ready to go. My cord was still wrapped up a little bit around there, so it's all hot and ready to go. So we're gonna get this plate laid down on here. I'm gonna grab some foil and we're gonna get to foiling. I'm gonna use another one of those pink panels, and I've got this is some pink foil we're gonna use. It's a little hot pink foil, and I was just measuring it, just kind of rolling it out there and eyeballing it. And we're gonna get it laid down on here, and we're gonna get it glimmered up. You always do pretty side on the glimmer machine. If you foil with your fuse or your laminator, you're going to do it the different way. But for the glimmer, it's pretty to pretty. So we're going to have the big reveal here. I'm going to roll it through the machine. And my plates were moving and it made me a little bit nervous. But, um, and I think even when I took it off, I was like, oh, it shifted, but it was fine. So I was happy about that. There's where I saw it. I was like, oh, it shifted on the plate. But then we open it up and it looks really good. So a little bit around the top and the bottom, kind of off a little bit, but we're going to trim it down anyway, so it won't matter. And then I'm just going to discard that. I don't have any toner sheets to put that on. We're going to plug this thing back in and I'm going to pull this off and we're going to bring in our heart, the I'd Pick You BetterPress, and we're going to glimmer it. As you know, you can press and glimmer BetterPress plates. You cannot do that the opposite with a glimmer. A glimmer cannot be BetterPress. So we're going to get this laid down on there and we are going to glimmer up this um, cranberry cardstock we've got here. We'll just run it through and you can see I've glimmered my plates and they work just fine. So that took beautifully. I love the gold on that. I use the glitter gold or the sparkle gold. So I've got all my bits here and I've chosen some dies, trying to figure out how I'm going to pull these things together. And so we are going to use the Bells and Bows scalloped die for this first heart. And get it die cut out. And then for the second one, trying to remember what that set's called that I'm using for it. I'm gonna go scalloped and stitched edge ovals is what this set is, and it is a nested set. And I'm gonna just try and get that oval lined up a little kind of straight on my heart. And we're gonna go to the die cutting machine and die cut it out. And now we've got a heart and an oval. And now we've kind of got the elements to our cards. So I've got all of my sentiments, I've got all of my pressing and my glimmering, and I don't have any card bases. So we're gonna do it right. I'm gonna bring in the scoreboard first. We'll score up these panels and then we will cut them. This is the Jennifer McGuire way. You want to score it first. So I'm gonna score at 4 1/4, and I'll score several of them, and then we'll cut it, and then we can just fold it. If you cut it first, you're gonna score it multiple times, and you're just gonna take you more time. So I learned that, and I've got a bad habit of cutting first, and so I have to remind myself, score first, then cut, and it saves you a step. So we're already ready to go. We got two of them. We only had to score once. If you cut it first, you got to score twice for that. So I'm just getting several card bases ready, and I left this in because this is part of the process, and I use a whole bunch of card bases. I just use 110-pound cardstock and just cut them down and fold them. So this one kind of turned purple. It looked kind of purple on there. And so I brought in a purple panel and I die cut out one of those bows from this Bells and Bows scallop set that I have here. And I'm going to take this linen folder. It's a 3D embossing folder, and I'm going to press it. And I think I grabbed the plates and tried to press it with a regular press and then oh, no, I thought I did. I was thinking I grabbed the wrong plates, but evidently I didn't. I grabbed the right ones. It is 3D, so you just need your plate A and your plate D. And now we've got some great texture here. Looks like my card base is going to be a little bit off, so I'm just going to take my guillotine and just hack away at it, and then we'll get it lined up on there. I love that linen 3D embossing folder. It just gives so much dimension. And an embossing folder always adds to your cards, and it is a very inexpensive way to add to your cards. The embossing folder of the month club kit is, I think, the least expensive one, and it gives you a lot of bang for your buck if you want your cards to look elevated. So I'm going to get this one lined up and laid down on there. You can see I die cut the bow out of the center of that, and no one will ever know. We're going to put some foam tape on here. There'll be no risk of it sagging or anything like that, just because I've die cut out of the center. And we'll get this laid down on there. This is a simple card, but really, really very pretty. So I thought the purple tied nicely in with how that pressed. And now I'm just going to find a sentiment that I can put on that particular card. And I'm just kind of auditioning them, as my friend Jana would say. And we're going to play around with it and figure out what we want and where we want it to go. And I'm going to change my mind on that. And I'm going to go with suddenly all the love songs are about you. And we'll get some glue on there and we'll get it laid down, and that will take care of our first card. And this is where we have used our BetterPress to press my I'd Pick You die. And we'll get that laid down on there. We're going to bring in some embellishments and we'll just add some sparkle to our card. I've got some, these are, I don't know exactly what they are, but they are, they kind of iridescent is what I'm looking for. Words are hard, people. I'm telling you, sometimes I cannot think. So I'm going to lay several of these down. I don't know. I think I maybe did 7, 5 on the top, 2 on the bottom, just to add some sparkle. And we've got that embossed panel and our scalloped edge. I think it's really pretty. I think we're going to move on to the, yeah, we're going to move on to the one in which I glimmered in the gold uh, sparkle glimmer. I'm not sure what that's called. I threw the box away. And we're going to bring in some of this treasured cardstock from Spellbinders. And I'm going to use this gold piece here. I think it's a brushed gold. And I'm just going to cut it down to an A2 size panel. We're going to score up our card base and get this laid down on there. This one's going to be simple too, but it's going to have a lot of shine. In fact, so much so that I have a hard time getting decent pictures of it with the glimmer and then all of that gold cardstock behind it. Makes it challenging to get a picture because you get all of the reflection from the light and everything. And so it does make it challenging. I'm using this rag just to press it down really well and get the glue kind of spread out and not get a bunch of fingerprints on it. So we're going to pop up the scalloped edge here and we'll lay it down on our gold cardstock. Just going to try and eyeball it and get it lined up right. And then we're going to bring in our cinnamon. You can see I've got several of those cinnamons all die cut out. And I've chosen I'd Pick You again as the one that I'm using. And I'm just going to decide where I want to put it. It gets lost a little bit in the card because I'm doing tone on tone, but I think it's okay. It'll be okay. I'm just taking some washi tape and I'm picking up any overfoiling that is on there. It doesn't look bad, but Sometimes, like in the centers of your letters, you'll have a little overfoiling there. And if you'll just take some washi tape and touch it up, it'll clean them up real nice and neat, and it will look really nice. I just dropped one of my dies. So we'll get that laid down on there, and we're going to add some embellishment to this as well. And I know somewhere I've got some gold Spellbinder gems, and so I'm just going to bring in some little ones. We'll use three of them, just kind of surround our sentiment there. And then that'll pretty much finish off this card. And we've got just one more. Now, this next one I think is my favorite. Um, I have chosen to cut down that glimmered panel to 3 3/4 by 5, and I'm layering the cranberry behind it. And we're going to make a gift card with this, and we're going to use the clear stamp and die of the month sentiment for it. So I'm going to bring in the essential envelope everyday add-on dies, and we're going to create a gift card pocket. But first, we're going to get this background laid down there. I will link all the materials in the description box below so you can check it out. So I have die cut out this pocket using this die set here, Everyday Essential Envelope Add-ons. I've got the clear stamp and die um, stamped out there and heat embossed, and I'm bringing in the Filled Notes twine that I'm going to use to wrap around our pocket. So I've got it here. And I just brought in some more of that pink, and we're just gonna wrap this around this pocket. And I chose to do that because the sentiment I'm gonna use on here, it says wrapped in care and tied with love. And I thought, oh, how perfect. I'll just use that twine die and we'll wrap this thing in care and we'll tie it with some love. And it has a bow that comes with it, but I'm not gonna use that. I'm gonna use the one from the um, bow and bell scalloped die set, and we'll layer this one up. I like this bow. I think it'll look prettier. It's not quite as stringy as the Filled Note Twines bow, and we're gonna lay it down on here. So I'm just putting a little bit of glue just right in the center of that bow because I'm gonna allow um my bow edges to kind of pop up and kind of lift them up and make them have some dimension there. And I think we'll do it just like that. Just cleaning off a little bit of glue there. And we're gonna get that laid down on there, and you can see I've lifted the edges of the bow, and it's really got some dimension. So we're gonna go around this because I am gonna create a gift card holder, and I'm just gonna bring some thin foam tape, and we'll go around the edges and get it taped down. And I just thought it was fun. This is gonna be real simple because we're not gonna have a lot on the front of this card, but I think that glimmered background panel, um, really is nice, and I was just checking, I've got a little card here, I was making sure that I had enough room for that to fit in there, and then we're just gonna get it laid down on our glimmered panel. Anyway, the glimmered panel just adds all the shine, and it just makes it very interesting. So we will get our little envelope laid down on there, and I've got my, 2 clear Stamp of the Months, and I'm gonna bring in the coordinating dies that go with it. We're gonna die cut these out. I did 2 because 'cause I'm gonna use 1 on the outside and 1 on the inside, and I used a little bit darker pink cardstock here. This might be 2 2. And then we'll get the dies laid down on there, and we're just gonna get these sentiments die cut out, and we're gonna add them along with our bow to our card. I'm gonna get all these dies picked up and put away before I lose them. And you can see I've got a lot of extra sentiments up there. I'll just store those in the sleeve with the coordinating dies, and then I'll have them for later. Just gonna bring in my scout and die cut these out real quick. and we will get this laid down. Now, when I made this video, we were having a snowstorm, and I spent a good amount of time in my craft room that day and made a royal mess. In fact, I did a little short video showing the mess that I created during the snowstorm. It wasn't too bad until I got finished with my videos and what I wanted to do, and then I started watching LV Handcrafted Friends, and they were doing a I don't know, mystery craft along, and I got in on it late and I decided to catch up, and so I just destroyed my craft room in the process of trying to catch up and to complete the project. It was a super fun project, and I enjoyed doing that. So I got my cinnamon on the inside of this, and we've got 3 really fun cards. So here's our Better Pressed. Suddenly all the love songs are about you. And then our Glimmer says, I'd pick you again. And then we've got our envelope wrapped in care and tied with love. So I hope you like them. Thanks for watching. I've got some pictures here for you to check them out. And if you like them, consider giving the video a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, I'd love to have you as a member. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Take care. Bye bye.